you should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory.
On their toes, worrying about what's happening, and I'm going to give you the time interval now between the completion of this lap for Alain Prost in the lead and Senna, who is in second place. Prost has gone through. The gap was 21 seconds. Lauda looking at Derek Warwick's car, taking an interest in everything all around him, perhaps wanting to delay the moment before he gets back, and we're still waiting for Senna to come through, and here he is. The gap now is down to 18 seconds. So Alain Prost in the lead is being caught quite rapidly. Here is Alain Prost on his 29th lap. Ayrton Senna has got the gap down from 31 seconds to 18 seconds.
Yes, this means that at the current rate of progress, Prost is going to have to find another gear, because Senna is catching him quite comfortably enough to do it well before the end of the race, with plenty of time to find a way around him.
Number 7, race leader Alain Prost, Marlboro McLaren, at the rate of 3 seconds a lap. So in 5 laps time, if he keeps doing it, Ayrton Senna is going to be right with the race leader, with only just over half of the race run at that time.
But I think we are watching the arrival of Ayrton Senna as truly outstanding talent in Grand Prix racing. The rain is coming down even harder now. We've got a real cloud now. But Ayrton Senna has the same tires that Alain Prost is running, the same tires that the other Michelin runners. He's on Michelin tires, and he's catching Alain Prost at something like 3 seconds a lap. And that is a truly staggering performance.
I can't believe that they're going to keep running this race. The conditions are the worst I have ever seen in a long, long time of watching races. Now here is Prost coming through again, and I'm going to start the stopwatch. 15 seconds was the gap. If Senna is continuing to close at the rate of 3 seconds a lap, Prost is waving his hand. Prost goes through, waving his hand at the officials. He wants to stop the race, and who can blame him? Now, I'm just waiting for Senna to come through, and the gap as Senna goes through, quite dispassionately, is down to 11 seconds. He's taken 4 seconds out of Prost's lead. Prost waved his hand the previous lap, but not this one, and there goes Senna, and it's only 7 seconds now. But as in the French Grand Prix a couple of years ago, the race will be restarted later when hopefully the conditions have improved a bit, although I can't see much likelihood of them doing so. And out is going the red flag. The race is being stopped. There's an official in front of me with a red flag. The Monaco Grand Prix is going to be stopped.
And I was about to say that I felt that Prost had a very big advantage being the lead as a Frenchman when the conditions got this bad, because it is French officialdom, and I think if they stop the race, Tolman and Ayrton Senna will have a very, very reasonable grudge as he goes through, catching Prost hand over fist. And I think that this is what I would call French timing. To be as polite as possible, it does seem to me a bit wrong. And Senna could catch him, but he's got the Ferrari in the way.
Well, there goes Prost into the Rascasse corner. chased by Senna in second place, just about 2 or 3 seconds behind him now. There's an official right in the middle of the road now, showing the red flag, and the checkered flag is going out. They are stopping. This is going to be the end of the Monaco Grand Prix with Alain Prost. And Prost is stopping, and Senna crosses the line before he gets there. Now that's amazing. Prost has stopped actually on the line. Senna passed him as he got to the line, but subject to official confirmation, I'm virtually certain that Prost has won with Senna second.
Yes, I think Prost crossed the line just before Senna did, and it will be really a tragic result for Senna. However, he's not about to be world champion this year. He will undoubtedly be world champion in the future if his career continues. So whilst he has every reason and every justification for being very upset, he will he's got a big future.
The Monaco Grand Prix having been dramatically stopped on the 32nd, at the end of the 32nd lap, and having been won by Alain Prost, who has therefore now won 3 Grand Prix and finished second in 1 this year to extend his World Championship lead. A magnificent second, the man you are looking at now, Ayrton Senna, who seems conceivably to think he has won, judging by the way he's waving his hand.
The track was so slippery, so dangerous that I decided to go very slowly. I had some problem with the brakes. And when I've seen that Senna was behind me, he's not current for the championship. He has no point at the moment. So I have already decided that if he was just behind me, I let him pass. It was much better for me to get some points for the championship and do not win the race.
Series of bends, and now into the last right-hander to cross the line and take the checkered flag to win in Portugal. But ironically and very, very sadly from his point of view, provided Niki Lauda appears in the next 15 seconds or so, and there he is. There is the world champion of 1984. So, victory at the Portuguese Grand Prix, Alain Prost, 7 times a winner. Second, Niki Lauda. Third, Ayrton Senna. Fourth, Michele Alboreto. Fifth, Elio De Angelis. Sixth, Nelson Piquet. But, of course, the season belongs to one team, McLaren, and now to one driver, Niki Lauda, the 1984 world champion.
It's now 3 times. Is the third time better than the other 2?
Yes, because it was the most difficult one, because Prost was the best guy I had around me, and he was quick and good all the year through, so it was the most difficult championship I ever won.
Alain, you've won 7 races, Niki's won 5, but he's world champion. Do you feel cheated by the system?
No, I don't think so. I think we had so competitive cars this year, so I don't think I'm not world champion because of the rule, and I'm not world champion because of the circumstances. I was not very lucky sometimes, but Niki made a fantastic season also, and I'm not so disappointed because I won 7 races, and most of the drivers are not very happy when they don't win 1 race per year. I won 16 races all my career, and I'm always competitive every year, and I'm going to try to win championship next year.
The red and white cars won 12 Grand Prix, and Niki Lauda and Alain Prost finished at the top of the table, half a point apart. But when the Formula One circus assembled for the first 1985 round, the Brazilian Grand Prix in Rio de Janeiro, there was all the unpredictability of a new season. 6 months had passed since the previous race in Estoril, and among the different faces in different cockpits was Lotus new boy Ayrton Senna, who dominated pre-race testing in Rio in the latest Type 97T. But Ferrari, Williams, Brabham, Renault and others also had new cars. And on the grid it was Alboreto's Ferrari and Rosberg's Williams at the front, with the Lotuses on row 2. Back on row 3 was last year's winner, Alain Prost.
was jumping on the track. Very happy, not as happy as me. Alberto is second, De Angelis is third.
So McLaren had done it again, their 8th consecutive victory, and Alain Prost opened his 1985 account with 9 points. But just as the pundits began to predict another year of McLaren walkovers, round 2 upset the form. It rained. That didn't worry Ayrton Senna.
Well, Ayrton told me, Bob, that he doesn't really love the rain, but he really likes to drive in it. And this is one of the greatest expressions of driving talent, is to be able to handle that machinery in wet, slippery, dangerous conditions.
Very wet Portuguese Grand Prix, where emerged a man called Ayrton Senna. Drove a masterful race, a race that I would have been proud to win. And by doing so, put himself in everybody's mind as the driver to be for the future. Some were even saying the driver of the next decade.
Life, without a doubt. How difficult was the race?
It was very hard race, even more difficult than last year at Monaco, because the conditions were a lot worse than Monaco.
But you took the lead right at the beginning. You caught up in the latter stages to Elio De Angelis and Nigel Mansell. Did you have any problems getting past?
A lot of trouble, because I could not see anything in front of me. With the cars going in front, it was impossible to see anything, and you had to go by, because it was a big difference in the pace that I was going. So it was one of the biggest moments that I had in the race.
Ayrton, a lot of people have been saying that the Lotus was a sprint special, good for practicing, not good for the race, but you've proved them wrong.
Well, I'm very happy to be the one that managed to prove that the Lotus car is not only quick in qualifying conditions, but even in race conditions, although it was wet.
You've demonstrated an enormous amount of tactical ability today. You were thinking your way all through the race, were you?
Yes, of course. It was a hard tactical race, corner by corner, lap by lap, because conditions were changing all the time, even corner by corner. Brake problems, because the carbon disc brakes give some trouble in wet conditions, but apart from that, the car was marvelous. The team have provided me with a fantastic car, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Prost, Ayrton Senna starts in 4th position and has a great start.
Rosberg's away, but Ayrton Senna taking the lead. Can he get past? No. And Ayrton Senna takes the lead with Keke Rosberg second. Alain Prost looks like he's done the car spun in the first corner. We've had a spin out. And one of the Ferraris, it looks like Johansson's Ferrari is out. One of the Renaults is out. That is Johansson's Ferrari that is off the road. The Renault with the wheel off looks like it might be Warwick. We'll have a look in a second. We can't see at this distance. He's driving the car away in the interest of safety. Patrick Tambay. Minardi is the last car up, and there Keke Rosberg comes alongside now. Ayrton Senna taking the fast line now, leaving Keke Rosberg without any draft and aerodynamics as they go through Stowe Corner, the end of Hanger Straight. Head towards Club Corner. This is the first lap of this Grand Prix of Great Britain. Nigel Mansell's well up kicked, and Alain Prost is well up. Driving the VJ Renault, Mansell, Prost and PK making up the 6th top. And look at this race that's going on right now. That is the blue car is De Cesare. Then you've got the Renault in there. Nigel Mansell is in there. He's dropped back. Nigel Mansell is in the middle of that, so De Cesare is past Mansell, and then you have
lights of fire extinguisher on the road. There on the right is the Minardi. Pierluigi Martini has finally called it a day also. So as the remaining few cars seem to drop out like flies, the one reliable McLaren in this race reels off his final lap. This is the Bosch Curva. Out of the Bosch Curva, on down the short straight, past the gouge marks by the side of the road, which were made by Andrea de Cesaris in that dramatic accident, and we have confirmation, incidentally, that he was completely unhurt. Then the panorama, the double downhill left-hander, over the brow, down to the Jochenrit Curva. There, the final corner in sight for Alain Prost. Another Grand Prix victory is going to be his. Out of the Jochenrit Curva he goes. The checkered flag awaits. Here comes Alain Prost to score another Grand Prix victory and to go to the head of the World Championship table. Now, will Alboreto get his third place to maintain his position at the top of the table? There is Ayrton Senna, who scores his first championship points ever since Portugal. He is going to finish second. There is Alboreto, who's going to finish third. Jochenrit Curva for the last time for Ayrton Senna. So Ayrton Senna does get second place. He does get 6 championship points, and not very far behind Michele Alboreto, who kept trying all the way to the end. Alboreto gets his 4 points to hold what is now a joint World Championship lead. Stefan Johansson.
Fantastic win. In your pit stop, did you ever think you were going to get the lead back again, or could you have caught Lauda?
I think so. I was waiting for the right moment because my tires were fresh, and I knew that Nicky could not be as quick than he was until the end. And my car was much better at the end.
Starting in the spare car like that must have been very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult because I did not know if I started in the race car and the T car, and the car was the T car was not as good on my race car, as you can understand. I have changed my mind about the tires just before start. It was very difficult psychologically, but I won, and it's most important.
And what about the World Championship now? Earlier this week you said you wanted to go ahead in points. Well, you're tied with Alboreto, but you must be happy with your position.
I'm happy because the car is fantastic at the moment. It's much better than the others, especially during the race. Nicky is very unlucky, but I think he should win some races until the end of the season, or maybe finish behind me and get some points from Alboreto. And I'm in a much better shape now.
It's unbelievable that you can win in either your race car or your spare car. It's a real endorsement to the team and the whole effort.
Yes, it's very good. That's the force of the team and the power of the team, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy. I'm even more happy winning in the T car, especially for the team, for the mechanics.
Ayrton Senna from Brazil walked off with the victory once again under rather poor weather conditions in the Belgium Grand Prix.
And that time he kept his safety belts fastened, at least until he got to the winner's stand.
So Ayrton Senna wins his second Grand Prix in Belgium under also adverse weather conditions.
I think it's fantastic. I think the whole team need a good result such as that. Not just finish a race, but actually finish in the front. And we had the car to go quick and finish the race today.
The car must have been perfect. There were so many different track conditions, wet to dry to wet to dry. How much of a problem was that for you?
It was the biggest problem to judge your pace. If you try too hard when it was a bit damp, you would go off. If you take too easy, the others would catch you. So it was a big problem to judge the pace that you should take.
You've led so many Grand Prix this year, and there you are, #1 on the victory roster, and you must feel very pleased.
Of course I'm pleased. The only objective for anybody in Formula One is to win. And I'm pleased that the team provided me with such a good car and capable to win.
For the very first time in front of the home crowd. Boy, what a happy winner.
Ho, ho, ho. Now we're going to see it. But look at that. Both hands up. Look, no hands, Mum.
For a long time. And we're talking about a 7, 8, 9 second
and there's
victory
Ayrton
salute.
Senna. He's taken second position. Ayrton Senna with the John Players Lotus brings it home into second position. Quite a long way behind.
And coming up is the 1985 World Champion. If he gets around there, he was running in 4th spot when he came by for the next to the last lap. Here he comes.
And he's got a couple more corners to go yet. Alain Prost.
Alain Prost running in the tire tracks of Jimmy Clark, Graham Hill, and the man sitting next to me, Jackie Stewart. What a great moment for this man who has tried so hard for the last 4 years to become the world's champion, and right now it is just outside of his grasp. It's in his grasp. They're hanging on to the edge of the cliff. Here he comes around the final corners, the Dingle Bell corner, then Stirling's Bend, now down toward Clark Corner, and here it comes, Jackie.
Through Clearways, Alain Prost will raise his hand. The McLaren team will be ecstatic, and there they are there, the Marlboro McLaren team. Mansarochi, who you saw in the interview at the beginning of this year, he's not in the picture right now. Those are the mechanics who are taking the credit, and well they should, because they've supplied this man, the first Frenchman ever to win the World Championship of Driving.
Alain Prost, many congratulations. How does it feel?
I feel well. I can't feel, very, very happy because it's too soon. And everything was going so bad at the beginning and so well at the end. I never felt very bad in the car because I knew that Alboreto was not very quick. But honestly, I'm very happy to finish the championship here, because especially with this place, and because I had a lot of pressure the last 2 or 3 years at the end of the championship, and I want to go to the last 2 races very, very quiet, and I want to win. Now I want to win a race.
What does it mean to you to be the first Frenchman ever to win the Grand Prix World Championship, a country that gave us the name Grand Prix?
I know that it is very important for the French people, but I think for me it's important to win a championship. I don't care too much if I'm French or not. I think I'm not too nationalist, it's a shame, but I'm very happy for them anyway, because if the problem is if I'm world champion, it's because of my English team and all the things. I don't want to be to concentrate on one country, because I am world champion. It's all the world is mine. It's not only one country.
You've been kind enough to mention the team. What is the secret of McLaren winning 2 world championships in 2 consecutive years?
I think we have... It's difficult to tell. I don't think we have maybe the best car or the best engine. It's difficult to tell that. I think we have the best compromise for sure, because the chassis is very good, the engine is very good. We have a good combination of both. We don't use too much tires. And we have a good politic in the team. We don't change too many things every race, and we have a good reliability. And I think that makes I finish almost every race at the moment, and it's very important.
And how are you going to celebrate tonight?
A championship like that, I'm waiting for a long time. I don't want to be completely crazy one day. I think it's very important for me to celebrate with my friends, but I think the problem is I'm going to have a lot of work in France, and I think I'm going to feel much better after 2 or 3 days, or maybe 1 week, and I will celebrate not only one time.
Alan, congratulations, superb tactical race, and thank you for winning here at Brands Hatch, where you have so many fans.